Welcome back to my channel and a very special welcome if you're new here. My name is Jen and this is Jen Clayton Beauty. We do everything beauty and makeup, and that includes monthly eyeshadow palette rankings. I rank all of the palettes that I tried in a month from worst to best, and I let you know why they're ranked. So we are actually ranking 8 palettes that I tried in the month of January. Now, I said when I did my eyeshadow palette ranking for the year and my annual eyeshadow palette declutter video that I was going to scale back the palettes that I'm purchasing because I am moving and I really don't need to add 100 plus eyeshadow palettes to my collection this year. But I have 8 for the month of January. Now, I will say that I am going through what I received in advent calendars. I'm also going through subscription boxes. I am on a few PR lists. So I do have 8 palettes to rank with you this month from worst to best. Now, I will link all of the palettes down below for you if you're interested in picking any of these up for yourself. I very much appreciate you using my links. It helps support my channel. If there's a discount code out there, I will put that down below for you as well. You'll also find my favorite beauty subscription boxes, all of the makeup that I'm wearing in today's video if you would like to shop this look, discounts to my favorite indie brands, and come follow me on TikTok for more beauty and makeup. Let's rank the 8 palettes I tried in January from worst to best. I will also link my yearly eyeshadow palette ranking and declutter video down below if you missed it. But let's jump into January's ranking, starting with palette number 8, which is the worst palette in January, and that is this little 6-pan palette from Makeup Revolution. So this is the Makeup Revolution Mini Reloaded palette. Now, this came in the Makeup Revolution Advent Calendar. I think the color story of this is pretty. It's pinks and purples with a little pop of neutral. This just didn't perform the best. The shimmers were kind of meh, and the mattes, they were pretty, but they took a lot of effort to build them up. I have videos of all of these palettes, whether it's in a testing new makeup or a dedicated video, including the Makeup Revolution Mini Reloaded. I will link the videos down below for you. I just didn't love this. I have been loving Makeup Revolution's products aside from their eyeshadow palette. I just don't get behind their eyeshadow formula, and this one definitely was last on the list for January. Coming in at number 7 is the Peanuts X Profusion Sweater Weather Quad. Now, this is interesting because when I first tried this quad out in the video, I really liked my eye look. I just used this little quad yesterday, and I didn't love it as much. Now, I did say in the video, there is only one matte in this quad, which is this red leaning matte, which is a mid-toned matte. These are all shimmers. So in order for me to get any depth, I have to use this brown shimmer as an outer corner. And when I used it yesterday, I didn't love it as much as the first time. I felt like it was patchy. It was really hard to build it up. The shimmers are pretty, but it's kind of a blasé little quad. After using it the second time, I like it a lot less than I did the first time. Like I said, the packaging is really nice. I do like Profusion as a brand, especially their little eyeshadow quads have been really good. I just didn't love this the second time. I didn't love it the second time. Next is this palette from Catrice. Is no name on this palette, just says Catrice eyeshadow palette. Now, this came in my Catrice Advent Calendar. This is a really, really pretty palette, and the formula of this is actually really, really nice. I love that it's a fairly neutral palette, but you do get some uniqueness, some pops of color. This tealy matte is beautiful. I popped this on my lower lash line in the video. Like I said, all the videos will be down below for you. It's absolutely beautiful. It's a unique teal shade. I love the inclusion of the purple shimmer. I like that we have cool tones, we have warm tones. I actually liked this palette. I like this palette a lot better than the other 2 that we ranked, and I can see myself reaching for this again where I won't reach for the other ones. Yeah, I like this. I'm impressed with the Catrice eyeshadow formula. Next is Pat McGrath, and this is the Bijou Brilliance palette. Now, this came in a subscription box, and for Pat McGrath, I actually like this little 5-pan palette a lot. I think the color story for Pat McGrath is unique because she always does pinks. She always does pinks and neutrals, and with this palette, we've got this really interesting kind of blue, black, gray, kind of shifty shimmer. We have this beautiful black matte with shimmer. This rosy shimmer and this white shimmer are so pretty. I did say when I tested this out, there's one matte in this palette, and it's this purple right here. So similar to the Profusion Quad, we've only got one matte to work with, and it's a mid-tone matte. However, I was able to use the black shimmer shade as a deepening up outer corner shade, and it was beautiful. I really like this little palette. For Pat McGrath, this is probably the one I like the most, even though I questioned that because of just the one single matte, but I was able to create a really beautiful look with this. I will have the video down below if you want to see the look I created, but I like this palette and I'm excited to use this again. Coming up next is the Rose and Wood 5-pan eyeshadow palette from Natasha Denona. Now, similar to the Profusion, similar to the Pat McGrath, this one also only has one matte, but it is a deep, dark brown matte. It's this matte right here, and it's actually kind of a purpley brown. I was very nervous about this because, again, one matte, and it's a deeper matte, and all of the rest of the shades are shimmers. And these three shimmers, they're not that different in the pan. And then we've got this deep dark brown shimmer. I really like this palette. Gosh dang it, these palettes with one matte, I ended up liking them a lot more than I thought that I would. I loved the look that I created with this. I also have a video on this. And yes, these shimmers, these two especially, are pretty similar on the eyes, but this one is definitely a little bit more tan leaning, and this one's a little bit more champagne leaning. So there was enough differentiation that I was able to rank this a little bit higher than the Pat McGrath. I really like this. And this particular pan formula from Natasha Denona isn't always my favorite, but this one is really, really nice. I got this in a subscription box. I like this. I can see myself reaching for this a lot. We're in the top 3 for January, and coming in at number 3 is the newest release from Nomad Cosmetics. This is the Chamois Après Ski, and like I said, I'm probably completely butchering that. This is Nomad's winter palette, their first palette release of 2025, and it is absolutely beautiful. I do have a full dedicated video on this palette where I did a look. It's a stunning palette. Nomad's formula just gets better and better and better. Their mattes, their shimmers. I love that we have 2 mauve rose, we've got 2 green rose, 2 blue rose. I love the look that I've created. Since that video, I've also done a monochromatic monochromatic green look, and I really, really like that. Nomad is just getting better and better and better. I love the color story of this. It is wintry, it is beautiful. It was a great way to start off 2025 for the brand. I do have a discount code for Nomad, so I'll put it down below for you. Number 2 is the newest release from Blend Buddy Cosmetics, which is one of my favorite indie brands, and that is the Plastic palette. I love everything about this palette. It is about our pursuit of perfection, plastic surgery, nipping and tucking, snipping and trimming. It is about everything plastic related. Love the size of this palette. It's very different for Blend Buddy. And I love the color story. It's definitely a neutral color story with a pop of pink, but the pinks in this palette are really, really special. I really love this orange matte shade as well. This black base shimmer is beautiful. There's multi-chromes, there's duochromes. This inclusion of a teal multi-chrome is so beautiful. My eye look was chef's kiss with this palette. Again, I have a full dedicated video on this as well. This palette makes me excited. I'm hoping Blend Buddy continues to put out this size of palette with this interesting color story. Love the pop of Barbie pink. Love that it's neutrals with a twist. I am impressed with their first release for the new year. Drum roll, please. Coming in at number 1 from one of my favorite indie brands, Gourmand Girls, is the Bitten palette. This is their first release of 2025, and it is their anti-Valentine's Day release. This is a beautiful purple leaning palette with some pinks. The shimmers in this palette are spectacular. The mattes are very buttery, very buildable. I have loved every single look that I've created with this palette. I love that we've got black base shimmers. We've got beautiful multi-chrome light shimmers, lights, mid-tone, deep mattes. Now there are a lot of deeper shades in here. That's what gives it such an allure and a smokiness. It is modeled after vampires. It is just a beautiful palette. The formula is really good. Gourmand Girls is really good, but this is really, really good. I feel like they've also stepped up their game. Nomad, Blend Buddy, and Gourmand Girls have already improved their formula even better than the fantastic formula that it was in the new year. I love this palette so much. If you're looking for a purpley pink Valentine's Day inspired palette, definitely grab Bitten from Gourmand Girls. I also have a discount code for Gourmand Girls. I'll link it for you. I cannot wait to see what else they put out this year because this is so good. So those are the 8 palettes that I tried in January ranked from worst to best. Let me know down below, what are your thoughts on my ranking? Did you try any of these palettes? Do you want to pick any of these up? Overall, this was a decent month for eyeshadow palettes. There were a couple of bummer palettes, but the rest of them were really, really good, and I'm excited to have them in my collection. Everything is linked down below for you with discount codes. I'll also have my favorite beauty subscription boxes, all of the makeup that I'm wearing in today's video if you would like to shop this look. Again, discount codes to my favorite indie brands, and come follow me on TikTok for more beauty and makeup. So those are the 8 eyeshadow palettes I tried in January, ranked from worst to best.